Hello, I'm Rajan Dominari, and welcome to Dominant Desires, the podcast, a podcast where you can get BDSM information, advice, and more. Have you ever felt like you were being tested by a dominant? Well, if you're wondering as to whether that's a common thing for dominants to do, the answer is actually both yes and no, which is exactly what I'll be addressing on this week's episode. So, let's get started. So I received this question via email, and it reads, I am a female submissive that has been interested in exploring the BDSM scene for around 4 years now. Only now have I got the time to fully invest in exploring this side, i.e. making a FetLife profile and actively trying to speak to different dominants, hoping to find someone I connect with. However, I have found that a few of the males/doms that I have been speaking to have tried to rush things, and when I've been slightly hesitant, they have not been pleased. For example, speaking to one dom for only a few hours, when he asked me for pictures of my face. I understand this and was completely willing to do so. When I asked him for pictures too, and as he asked first, he could send his before I sent mine. This he didn't like and said, don't argue, just say yes sir. So I just sent the photo anyway, and when I sent one, he continued on to say he wanted more. So I sent more, thinking it was to make sure I wasn't a fake, which I understand. I then asked for his two, which he sent one, and when I asked if I got more than one, he said no. He then goes on to say, I must be more obedient next time and not argue, and I'm his type physically, but we will see. He wanted me to give him control and my trust straight away after only speaking for, say, 30 minutes. I said that it wasn't fair for him to expect such of me straight away, and that I don't give up my will straight away, nor to someone that I have only been speaking to for such a short period of time. He then said I had failed 2 tests now, and that he was done, and said bye. Can you please give me advice on what I did wrong? Was I wrong to say this? I didn't think this was rude on my behalf, but wanted to make sure. Is it common for dominants to test submissive so early? Is this something I should be aware of? Should I expect doms to test me? So this is honestly, and I have read this a couple of times before I started reading the question, and it's, I want to laugh, not at the writer, just the fact that people do this shit. It's just fucking mind blowing. In any case, just to answer you a bit here, testing a submissive, it really is something that dominants do. If a submissive, has only just met or recently met a dominant, in my opinion, they should believe everything is a bloody test. Even if the dominant says that they're, not testing you, they are likely testing you. Even if they're just subconsciously doing it. Now, most, if not all, experienced dominants assess the quality of submissives. Even a dominant who isn't, consciously evaluating a submissive, they're still going to notice certain things in a submissive, and those things will influence the opinion of the dominant, influence the opinion that the dominant has of the submissive. There we go. This is something that submissives should always keep in their minds when meeting a dominant. Now, the key word here is experienced. That's what I said, and I meant it. Experienced is key here. It's very important, and I cannot stress that enough. Now, I found that most people on FetLife that claim to be a dominant have a definitive lack of that. And there is a certain skill set that needs to happen or needs to be present to successfully do this. And unfortunately, it's just beyond the scope of this podcast. With this said, you didn't do anything wrong, okay? The only thing that you did was you tried to be transparent. which is great. That's absolutely fucking brilliant. And like, while this isn't a bad thing, wannabe dominants, they try to use this as sort of a way to see exactly what they can make you do, or what they can, make what they can get away with, basically. And in case you're wondering, what you should be doing differently, the answer is not a damn thing. Unless you're being purposefully impolite or bratty just to see if someone can control that. If that's the case and you really are doing something like that, then you seriously have a completely different set of issues, and you should really just fuck off. That's just my fucking opinion. Whatever, deal with it. Anyway, regarding the photos, that's the part that I kept actually laughing at. That was ridiculous. What the hell? Fucking people and pictures. Anyways, regarding the photos, you really don't ever have to immediately send your pictures to anyone, nor should they ever expect you to do so. The guy in this case, or anyone asking for pictures, they could be some sort of, I don't know, wacko twink photo collector, and this is probably what this guy was. He's just someone that sees, or that someone says that they're submissive, and he can claim to be a dominant, and he'll go and ask for pictures from these people, and they're like, oh, well, that's cool. Now I have your picture, and you failed a test because I haven't made it up to getting boob pictures. So, you failed. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Good day. What else? That's just ridiculous. But I'm trailing off here. Sorry. But at the very least, I will say you can send one picture, because, like you said before, people need to know that you're not fake. It's not like you have to go holding up today's paper or anything like that. Because that's just stupid. But at the very least, you should be willing to send at least a picture of your face. It doesn't have to be immediate, though. That's not something that has to happen right away. There should be a conversation started. Someone should actually be getting to know you as a person before they try to apply your face to anything. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that a person has to, this has to go on over a period of months, because I actually vetted someone, this is a long time ago, actually. And just time and time was spent on this person who, because she felt strange, didn't want to send a picture of her face, which I thought was just like, that's bollocks. I'm not trying to hear that. And then I realized that it took so much time just for her to want to send a picture of her face. At certain points, I honestly thought that she might have been male. And I don't know if you all know me. I'm not gay. I don't like men. I don't. It's just not my thing. Sorry. Whatever. But yeah, you don't have to waste a significant amount of time. I don't know. It shouldn't take that long for you to want to send a picture of your face to anyone. I mean, if you want to give it a week, that's fine. And if they can't last a week, then you didn't really need to talk to them in the first place. But, having it go on for months and expecting this person to even want to continue to be interested in you is just fucking stupid. And I don't care who you think you are never worth that much time out of anyone. Maybe out of someone desperate. Desperate people do that. I don't know. Not me, but desperate people. I don't know. If any of you actually have, are desperate like that, then again, completely different sets of issues, and I don't think I can help you. But just going back, at the very least, you can send one recent photo, just so you don't lose the interest of, someone that you like and likes you because, they think they're being catfished. After this, you don't have to, you don't have to send shit. You don't have to send anything after that one photo. You don't. There's no obligation to that. Zero obligation to that. My suggestion would be that you give yourself, like I was saying before, you give yourself a length of time before you actually send pictures to someone, and just don't make it months, because I can guarantee you that no one is waiting that long to see what the hell you look like. Seriously, just don't do it. And if you choose to do it, don't send me another message asking me why people aren't talking to you, because whatever, you already know, because I just told you. Anyways, I really am glad to see, that you call this wanker on his bullshit. I really am. You were absolutely correct in letting him know that he should not be expecting anything from you, especially after half a fucking hour. Now remember, no one should ever try to impose some form of dominance onto you, and they sure as hell shouldn't be trying to force photos out of you, because that's a form of being domineering, which is something I talked about on my website. So good job, young lady, for sticking your ground. Now, as far as people trying to rush into a relationship with you, I did write an article a while back. It was, I believe it's called Some Advice on Being a Submissive. I think that's the title. I'm not sure. If a dominant is trying to rush you into some sort of permanent dynamic, you've to ask yourself, and you should probably ask them as well, what is the bloody rush? In addition, if they're pressuring you in any way or any form or fashion for more than you're honestly willing to give, and you have expressed this to them, then just leave them the fuck alone. Just leave them alone. Just no. Just sort it. Just let it go. I do want to say, however, that I'm really sorry that you've had to deal with wannabe dominance that didn't pan out. This is something that you will find, especially with the advent of, just about anyone claiming to be whatever the hell they want to claim themselves to be, appearing on FetLife. And FetLife, really does churn out blokes like that. Ultimately, in my opinion, you saved yourself from just a world of just headache. And any thinking person, including myself, would be absolutely proud of you. So, I honestly hope this helps you. So there you have it. Again, I really hope this helps some of you out there. I do want to say thank you all for listening to my podcast. I absolutely appreciate you for it. If you haven't done so already, I do encourage you all to visit my website at www.dominantdesires.com for more articles that may help you out a bit. I also invite you all to subscribe to Dominant Desires, the podcast, so you can be notified when I release a new episode. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Cheers.